American Simulation Racing Association, featuring online leagues like the DSR Electric, Blanchard towing and recovering Xfinity, concerns of police survivors. Jacob and Wesley bringing you all the commentating. Is there beef? Is there beef? This racing is so exciting. They're locked the Nasser network. That Beagle's cracking them up in the background. It is racing at Atlanta. It is racing at Talladega. Never turn right. Ooh, go baby, go. Don't you curse tonight. As a Brady, the boss man is lessening. Oh dear, let's go racing. Coding up with all the graphics. Jeff Merck pulling all the facial reactions. Jordan is spoken like DD, four-wheel AC, and a wide tray. And we're
for Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Club champions of C.O.P.S Foundation thrives on the strength of sports.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead
While the foundation is
of
founded
everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. make some progress. I can see that
Welcome everybody to week number 2 of the Concerns of Police Survivors.
I swear a void is
My name
forming and they're
is
scared. I
William,
walk a
so I'm
straight
gonna be joined
path.
by
Not many can say that. I like to play fast. Cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing
Once
fine.
again,
I'm not wasting any more time.
and it's a special setup.
I live for the fight and the climb.
Trip, and everybody loves
I think that the
Williams.
pain that's
A
deep
great night
inside
for racing
is what
action here on the
defines.
Speedway Truck.
So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I won't get back up. Cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough.
We'll quickly go through because we do have our qualifying session that is being over, my friend. As done and dusted, we'll have a
Rise up while you drown.
I think perhaps my friend
Feel
this
your
time
every
to show
doubt.
us
You're silently scared that you'll
Yeah,
figure
let's rock
it
and roll. Here's that
out.
road number 1.
I make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally pick you up again, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Well, off this here tonight, Justin Stubbs. We're gonna roll off 7. Mike Hoskins. Ninth position is gonna be Ryan Johnson. Rounding out our top 2, Joshua Rodriguez. And we have Matthew Montgomery and Dylan Cardenas in 15.
Isaac Bevan behind them with Jose Luis Rivera is back there. Brandon Broadwood later behind Matt Nate Mauer, Brett Peterson, another 30 machine. Behind them, Stephen Thomas, Ed Osborne, Robert Richards, Adam Neatwood, Owen Shirridge. I'm going to see that we're going to have in 24th place.
Yeah, picking up in the 25th position, we have Luke Smith. 26th here tonight is going to be Brandon Liu. On 27th, Dalen Painter. 28th position is going to be Toby Knott. 29th, Buzzy Mongol. 30th is going to be Shane Trotter. Just outside that top 30, Tristan Bruce. 32nd position is going to be the Animal of Keith Bradley. 33rd position is going to be Raul Meza in that 37 machine. 34th, Eric Zimmerman in that 94. Rounding out our field, we have Jeff Murph, Matthew Cummings next to each other, Nick Sacco, and Huck Whittington. Kyle Hess, last week's winner Keith Haney, all the way back there in that field. Stephen Gregory, James Beard, and Jeff Sickles is going to round out our 43 truck field here tonight, Dean. And boy, if it's anything like that week number 1 race, Hotlanta is not going to disappoint, as we're going to have 40 laps in stage number 1, another 40 in stage number 2, and then, Dean, it's going to be a shootout to round out this race.
That's what it's all about, of course. It's a hot Atlanta and a hot racing conditions too that we get. Well, it's in the evening, so we'll cool down a little bit. I'll get that up there for you in a second. Well, any picks out there in the chat, please let us know. Welcome, of course, for joining us here for our Friday night racing on the NASRA network. It's the Concerns of Police Survivors. We are in round 2 at the moment. Daytona's done, as you mentioned. Keith Haney got the race win. Now we're on Hotlanta, Vegas, Homestead, Miami, months. We'll go through all that sort of stuff as the driver's going to be coming around turn 3 to start the race.
I'm looking to see how Keith Haney can do here tonight, Dean. You see him there in the back of the pack rolling off. We also have some great trucks from last week's race that may have gotten caught up in some of those cautions. Jordan Jurassic's up there. Lucas Lyon's going to roll off in that top 5. But, folks, as the pace light's still on, make sure to get comfy, as this is the Super Speedway setup here tonight, Dean. A little bit special. I know everybody's not a big fan of the new Atlanta. This is the old school Atlanta. It's going to be fast. We're going to see some drafting taking place, some bumping, some elbows. It's going to be a great race.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Driving. You got to be bumping and grinding is driving, and that's exactly how it's going to be there. So Toyotas will line up in the front row with David Flanagan there and Holden McGill and Jordan Jurassic. We do have some cams for some of the drivers, so we will. We got the Murky, the Pookie cam. He's running. Keep an eye on him as well too, Jeff Merck. You know, he's always likes to fake his way through the field there at Super Speedways. He's running a 32nd spot there. We have a few drivers of cams at the moment. Jordan, there he is. There's our last season's champion, Jordan Jurassic, and he's going to be currently in that 3rd place, that number 6 machine. Can't miss him.
He's locking in, Dean. You see he's already getting the socials ready. He's ready to rock and roll with those lights in the background as Jordan Jurassic's going to roll off 3rd. You see him right there in that number 6 truck on your screen. We got Matthew Woods set up, Dean. I love that. All the cars to the side. Looks like me with the Hot Wheels in the background here in my studio. Just a great setup, and all of these guys going to give it their all here tonight. We appreciate all of them letting us a little insight into their setups here in this race. But Dean, they're ready to rock and roll. I can hear those trucks coming off of 4. We're about to kick off the A's Lawn and Landscaping 200. Week number 2 of the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. It's going to be Holden McGill taking the green flag as we go racing into 1.
No shenanigans, gentlemen. Just keep it all nice and steady. Let's keep an eye as that peeled as everybody puts the first lap down.
Backside the pack there, about 15th on back, Dean, as we're coming off straight off of 200 down the backstretch. You already see some trucks start the dash out of line. We're trying to feel out different spots. Very, very scattered. Back there in the back of the pack, we're already starting to separate here coming off of 4.
So far, so good. There's your front runners currently at the moment. There's the track temperatures, 69 degrees Fahrenheit. No wind. It's the opposite where I am at the moment, where it's probably getting close to about 60 mile per hour winds when it was at its peak. But at the moment, it's cool, calm, and collective here in Atlanta.
Very calm, cool, and collected. As you see that top side lane right there held down by Flanagan. On the low side of the racetrack, still our leader holding the gill in that 33, being pushed along by Jordan Jurassic. This is right where you want to be, as we're going to ride on board with that 6th machine. It's going to be very, very fast to get up to speed here, Dean. It's going to be very, very bouncy. You're not used to the truck just yet. You haven't had anybody really to work with on the racetrack. You're right on board with the 6th. This is a good spot to be in. You just latch onto the back bumper of the 33. I'm looking for a few laps. A really long stretch here at stage number 1. Get comfortable with a guy like McGill. But you're also going to fight some traffic on the outside. As you see, he's taking on Flanagan in that 5.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit of a straight drag strip between these two as he's getting the slipstream down from our race leader, Holden McGill. There's that sunlight that's going to be peaking in some of these drivers, especially those ones in the VR. Gets a little bit of a pain, but Flanagan's deciding he's going to give it a bit of a run for money up there. We'll go back to external cameras to kind of get an idea if he's getting pushed from behind. He certainly is by Lucas Lyons. MBW a little bit further back at the moment here. Lap 4, 140. Stage breaks will be coming up, as I'd mentioned there before, at lap 40. Well, you did actually. Lap 42.
Bit of a longer run than we had at Daytona last week. 40 laps here in stage number 1. You know how dicey it got there in that first stage last week as we put another lap in the books. It's going to be lap number 5 as Flanagan's on that outside. But he's getting pushed very aggressively right there. That's the 88 machine on the top side of the racetrack. That's Lucas Lyons pushing him along. Also, the 8 is up there as well. He and Mike Kostek, he's moving up the grid. You know, these guys are getting pretty aggressive there inside that top 5.
It's 2x2 most of the way, and they are starting to form 2 separate packs as well too. So we're going to keep an eye on the front field because we do know that something. Well, I get a feeling that something's going to be brewing a little bit in the background. As you can see on the track map at the moment with the gaggle of cars, you got a bit of a pause in the track from Chris Blanchard P30. Then you got a 2-second gap back to Kyle Heston P31. But at the moment, all eyes are on the business end of this race at lap 6.
As we come into 3 and 4 here in the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series, just to quote my man that I'm filling in for, Jake Reeves, you don't want to have beef that's too, cooked too early. You don't want to have that beef. You don't have an undercooked beef. You know what I'm saying, Dean? You don't want to have beef here early on in the race. Maybe some beef later on. Let it marinate. Let it cook a little bit. Have you some good tasting beef at the end of the race if you have to. But here early on in the race, it's just not going to taste right. It's going to be a bad day for everybody. Like you said, let the boys simmer down a little bit as we come off of 4. So our leader, Holden McGill, in that 33, still trying to block both lanes here as we come down the front stretch.
That's how you like your beef, mate. If you like it raw or not, or beefy. Jacob Reeves, of course, will be finishing up his little vacation, and we'll be back next week. Sorry, go ahead.
I said he's eating lots of beef on his vacation right now.
Absolutely. You want to hope so. The calm before the storm for him, the little while to be expected soon. So he's no more vacationing time. It'll be work and spend time with the little one, and hopefully Jim enjoy us in the booth there and get behind the wheel every once in a while on Wednesday nights. But for tonight, as you saw, the NASRA network that we have, we're going to go back to the DSR Electric on Mondays. We'll see if we get back to the Blanchard's Towing Recovery, and on the Cup Series is still brewing up there in the playoffs on Wednesday nights. And of course, tonight is the Friday night as we're back for a new season, of course, for Concerns of Police Survivors in round 2 here at Atlanta.
Yeah, the 10th season. Dean, I can't believe time has flown by that fast here in the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. You're going to check out that awesome logo on the back. As Holden McGill still in that 33, holding it down. They're just putting in laps here, Dean, getting very comfortable on the racetrack. Flanagan now our race leader on the top side of the racetrack. I'm not liking the pushing that's happened there out of Lucas Lyons. He's getting a little frisky on the outside, pushing that back bumper as now we're going to ride on board with the 21 machine of Matthew Ward, one of the most awesome setups you can see if you're watching along with us here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Has all of those die casts to the side. I actually checked out my die cast collection earlier, but we got to pause that little tidbit there as we almost had contact on the front stretch. I'm telling you what, in here, just inside this top 5, it's getting a little dicey. It's getting a little hot laying out there.
That's what we like to see. We got to some door banging racing that's going to be going on. Not too much, of course. We're going so good here, 11 of 40 in stage 1, so let's get this as caution-free as possible. And if we do happen to go caution-free, can the drivers go to stage break without having to do a splash and dash of gasoline? 100% fuel capacity out there. That's one for Joshua Suss out there who says, let's go and let's not kill my trucks this time. Your trucks are Joshua Suss. All right, you own them all. He's the owner.
Whoa, we have a truck in the wall. We have a truck scraping that wall there coming off of 2. It's hard to see who exactly that was. I'm seeing, Dean, trucks are getting squeezed to the outside of the racetrack a little bit. Lost some translation there. It's hard to do. It's almost like he's on roller skates here in the ATL. It's just not finding the right spot on the racetrack. He might get shuffled out if he's not careful. He has to sort of fall in line here. He start drifting way down the racetrack. And we start to see that bottom line more solid here 13 laps into this race.
Yeah, Flanagan, as you mentioned here, he is dropping a little bit further back. The man that started in 4th place really in this race is down. Ryan Johnson is making his little moves, so the tiny horse, they don't mess around with the 38. He's going to find his way up the front under the field there with MDW making his couple of gains, actually the biggest gain for MDW. And if you can get this outside lane to start rolling with the man that has more cars and a lot of people, as you said. One of MDW has a little model car of this number 21 that he has is actually behind the wheel of.
Oh, I'm sure he's got a custom racing machine, especially in that 21. Looking good again here tonight. Had a strong run last week as well here on the top side of the racetrack. Finds himself inside of the top 5 early on in this race, Dean. We talked about how this is a long stretch here in stage number 1. 40 laps here in this stage, so as aggressive as fireworks have been flown here in stage number 1. So a long way to go, not even halfway through this stage. We're already starting to see guys get a little dicey down the racetrack. We're right on board again with our leader, that 33 machine. And I hate to jump outside of this top 5, Dean. That's a big mover so far in this race. Jeff Merck in that 60, he's up 20 spots. It's the drop of the green flag, only 15 laps in. He started way back in the 35th position. Now finds himself inside that top 15.
Oh, Pookie loves super speedways, and he can find a way to get that number 60 machine from Punta Gorda, Florida, up through the fields. I'm surprised he's doing as quickly as what it is, as you mentioned. 20 places gain there for Jeff Merck and his motion rig. You can see him there at the moment. He's keeping a little bit of a distance between himself there and the number 1 of Joshua Rodriguez up the road there, is going to get tacked onto the back of him when we get into the straights. But there you go. Lap traffic coming up.
Boy, but just look at that shot. If we were riding on board with Jeff Merck, what he has to deal with. It's not like the shots that we were seeing on the 33 of Holden McGill as he goes by a little lap traffic there in that 11 machine. Jeff Merck, you can't really decide on a lane back there, Dean. It's very, very murky. Everybody's bouncing around, trying different bumpers, who they want to work with. I don't want to help this guy. I don't want to help this guy. It's very touchy back there outside of that top 5, top 10.
It's also getting the sun's peeling into the sunset at the moment, so it's getting into the nighttime for those light track lights. Illumination will completely take over, and then the track temperature will drop a little bit more. There's a car completely off on the inside of the apron there as Jordan's right on the back bumper there of Holden McGill. And there's Matty. I haven't seen Matty too much, but he's been lurking around the background. Matty has got a camera for us, but Matty, you're a little bit late for me to get that rolling up there for you. Perhaps if we had a caution or something, I can get that set up, but he has provided us with that. Currently at the moment looking to get that high side rolling.
Yeah, he is definitely moving that 24 machine. Matty is up 8 spots with green flag. Also a big mover behind him is that 22 machine of Brandon Broadfoot, who finds himself now in this lead pack, pushing along on that low side of the racetrack. But David Flanagan is now totally out of the picture. He's now down to 9th. He was fighting for our race lead just a little while ago. Now, some of these guys that have found a little bit more momentum, a little bit more speed here in this stage, are now working up inside this grid. We see new names. Ryan Johnson up here. Mark Morton's up here as well, Dean. And look at him now. That 971 of Nathan Maurer now finds himself inside that top 10 once again.
IMSA movers early through this field, which is just slowly but surely picking off one by one of those trucks. And you can't really see it on your screen, is it? There's nothing going on. They're just line astern, but they are slowly just going up to the top side, tucking in if gap car, finding a place there. If it's safe to get your truck in there, get that all sorted out. And they're the drivers that show you the sheer experience it takes to drive around a super speedway.
We let the field take us off down the backstretch. You're starting to see that separation happen, a little bit of a 1-pack, 2-pack, and you see a lot of trucks that are just outside of the top 20 are really starting to lose that track. But what I'm starting to see here, Dean, is we cross the start-finish line, we're going to make it lap 22 going into 1, just halfway past that halfway point here in stage number 1. I think these guys are going to start throwing the elbows. You know, you're going to run out of laps here for those stage points. Even though it's only week 2, you want to start racking up some points just in case the season goes a little sideways.
And a lot of people love Lana. This is a one a lot of drivers want to win. Yeah, and at that case as well, too. They don't want to let this one slip through their fingers because there's a lot of tracks on the calendar that drivers aren't necessarily strong at or they don't feel that they're confident at. So they got to look at it and go, damn, if I didn't know a good result here, then I'm not probably expecting good results in some other tracks, and therefore it's going to make it even more harder for me to get some crucial points in this championship.
And you see right there, we're almost 3 wide just outside that top 5. Montgomery's still on the top side of the racetrack, holding down the top side lane. Just not enough speed up there just yet to hold down our leader, our pole sitter, Holden McGill, who has led every so far. Jordan Jurassic right there on that back bumper of this 6. He's trying to inch his way around, but now Montgomery on the top side of the 24. We're riding on that 6 machine on the low side of the racetrack, pushing that 33 along. Boy, I'm saying, Dean, it's getting a little dicey up there.
Yeah, I wonder if Jordan was thinking about just standing on the outside there, but Matty closed the door on him, and he's elected to consider that try to that 24 up the front there. So far, so good. We have a caution on the Speedway, and that's back here at the moment. Mike has been involved in that one, maybe Stephen Gregory as well. There it is. That's the first one that we were kind of expecting. There's a car, 25, just completely facing in the wrong direction. That's James Beard. He's sitting there looking at it going, hello. What are you doing here?
Not going to be happy about that. James Beard coming off a strong run last week as well. Let's check out that Pulse Poppers instant replay of what brought out our first caution of the night, just past that halfway point of stage number 1. This is where I was talking about. It was getting a little dicey. You see Jose Luis Rivera back there in that 20 machine. A little squirrely off of 2. No contact just yet.
Yeah, it's got to be around here, isn't it? They're almost 4 wide. Wow.
Oh,
I think it's
Dean,
25
I'm not
and
sure.
58.
I think maybe he just got sideways going into the corner. He may have tried to... You see, he's going to come off the top side lane, down into the middle of the corner. See the 8? No, that is a little bit of a bump and run into the corner. Now, as we ride on board with the 25 of James Beard, we
almost got away with it, but no, he ended up getting tagged by Mike that he got into, and that's why he's facing in the wrong direction. Let's go back and look from Mike's perspective. That's Mike Koscheck. So this is where Mike's driving like this, doing his own thing here from Pennsylvania, and then just must scrub a little bit of speed. You'll see in a second that 25 will come straight up, hit his tailpipe, give him a turn. That's James Beard, you can see on the front windscreen there. And it's around this corner here. Bang, so much more in there, and around she goes. 2 cars, I believe, only involved in that incident. So everybody else elected to go down the inside apron very cleverly, of course, as you do on a super speedway. And they could have been a lot worse than what it was, just the 2 cars involved.
I mean, I'll play devil's advocate as we just checked that Pulse Poppers instant replay. Can you be mad at instant karma on that one, Dean? I mean, it's sort of the 25 hit the 8, and they're both damaged out of the race. I mean, it's not a lose-lose, I suppose.
And on that note, of course, thank you everybody for tuning in. Be sure you like and subscribe. We're going to go ahead and thank some of our fantastic sponsors. Don't go away.
for Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We are back here at Hotland. We had our first caution of the night. Holden McGill, our pole sitter, still the leader on the racetrack. The 33 machine has now taken the green flag as we're back racing here once again. Just about 12 laps to go here in this first stage. And Dean, it's been a pretty calm stage. Of course, we had that one caution of the night so far in the 8 of Mark Morton as the field comes down the backstretch. We got a single file into 3 and 4.
You're going to wait to get that second file going, which it looks like they're going to start doing soon. If not, actually, they are doing it right now. Ryan Johnson and MPW very close around that one. It is. No, MPW's tucked in. That's Maffey. Maffey wants to get that lane going at the moment. Oh, it's not Maffey. I'm getting it all wrong. It's Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson. There it is, finally. He's got the Florida on the side of the car. It just confuses me because the man's from Wisconsin.
Oh, as he comes off of 2, it's really not a name we've mentioned so far here in this race. He is really holding it down the top side lane. He's being pushed along with Lucas Lyons. That has been a name we've called out a lot here. Jeff Merck, we just mentioned a little while ago inside the top 15. Now Dean inside the top 10 as we make it 10 laps to go in stage number 1.
I wouldn't be surprised with 10 laps to go that Merck can't find his way up the front there and actually surprise everybody, get a stage win. It's very, very possible. He's got to get a few drivers to work with him. He's got to find the gaps too at the moment. It's going to get a little bit antsy up the front. But once again, never count out Mr. Jeff Merck. But the possibilities of a stage win at the moment. Holden McGill has been up there. John Jurassic have been up there. These two have kind of been controlling this race. And it's going to come to shove in 9 laps to decide who wants to take stage 1. And guess what? If you don't do something about it, Tiny Horse might say, I'm going to take it soon, gentlemen.
Oh, yeah, that 38. He's going to be turned and ready to go as that field comes off of 2 here down the backstretch. And one thing, Dean, as you mentioned, this is everybody's favorite track, and I think what some of these drivers are probably fighting a little bit here is a little bit of that nerves. They're amped up. They know it's one of their favorite tracks. They know they want to perform, as right now we're going to ride on board with that 38 down the front stretch. But you got to kind of chill out a little bit. You can't get too aggressive. You can't start pushing and dicing. You know, you start pushing and dicing in a super speedway like Atlanta here, you could pile up the whole field. So this is just a moment where, okay, maybe you don't win the stage, you still settle in, get a top 10, get some stage points, save that truck for the longer run as we go into 3 and 4 with about 8 laps to go.
Just reading at Joshua Suss out there, so one of his trucks is gone apparently, so I presume it's either James Beard, the 25, or Mike Crossteck, the number 8. So, Joshua Suss, you have to let us know how many trucks you have out there, my friend, just to sponsor all the trucks. And if you're sponsoring number 33 or number 6, they get a good shot at winning the stage 1 break. Or, of course, the Tiny Horse, Ryan Johnson, the 38. I think these 3 are ones to put your money on at the moment. 7 to go in stage break.
What I'm looking at is just the performance of the 33 out of Holden McGill, Dean. You know, he's felt the pressure in this race so far. He's making lap 34 into 1 and 2. He's done a really great job of just blocking everybody. He sees Johnson up there on the high side of the racetrack. He's keeping his cool there on the low side. Still running really good lap times at 29, actually 30 flat last time by 29.7 for Ryan Johnson, who's going to be our leader just by a nose into 3 and 4. But look at James Rodriguez. He might be finding something here at the end of this stage. He's going very, very high on the racetrack as we cross that line.
Both in a very good position right now, that outside line. It seems that the inside line just gets that nose ahead when push comes to shove. But if they get a good push, if RJ gets a good push from Lucas Lyons and the 88 behind him, it might just be enough to nose him across the line there. And Jordan Jurassic is going to have to work there He can't find any space right now, so with 5 to go, unless there's any shakers and bakers and movers out there, he's going to have to settle in trying to push Holden McGill to get across for stage 1.
And you see Jordan Jurassic just saying a little, hey, how you doing, to the back of Holden McGill, putting that nose right up the tailpipe, letting him know, like, hey, man, I'm here. What wouldn't give me that spot, that number 1 spot, as our man Luda would say here from the A, as he's pushing him down the backstretch. He's going to fight for this stage victory. You know, just don't count the 6 out here as we count down the laps here at the end of this run. Coming off of 4, he just can't get by him, Dean, because he's got Johnson to the high side of the racetrack. As Holden McGill will lead us once again into 1 and 2.
If there becomes a gap like in the middle right now, you have an opportunity of going out there, but you have to think about it. You see the 88 came down, Lucas Lyons. He also thought about that. Okay, opened up enough to get a car through there with 3 to go currently at the moment. There is an opportunity, but somebody behind you is going to have to go with you. Otherwise, you're going to scrub speed and drop like a 929 stock exchange.
It's the bumper cars. They both bumped each other there down the backstretch as we come off of 4. Both lanes were pushing the tails of the guy in front of them into the corner. Both of them are eager to get around either truck, high side or low side. It doesn't matter. As we watch again into 1 and 2, the 88 wants to get around. That's Lucas Lyons. You see Jordan Jurassic in the 6. He wants to get around as well. But Johnson and McGill, it sounds like a law firm into 3 and 4, are doing a great job of holding down that 1-2 spot. Again, Jurassic tries it in the corner as we come off of 4.
Holden McGill got a good little push there, but he got left alone there for a second as Jordan Jurassic's trying to get back up onto his tailpipe to give him that push that he's urgently needing. Otherwise, that high side line led by Ryan Johnson will be enough. And I'm sure at the moment, Wesley, he may be on his way back from his commentating commitments. We'll be listening to that law firm remark that's trademarked to Wesley himself, wondering which law firm is going to take the stage 1 victory.
Who is going to crack the case? Who is going to win? Who is going to be the guy to say the glove doesn't fit as Johnson goes into 1 and 2 as our race leader? This is going to be for stage number 1. They're going to be drag racing here down the backstretch of Hotlanta. Dean, we're going to see who wants to get the stage points as they head into the corner.
Yep, this is it. This is the final lap of stage 1, so let's see how it's going to go to a caution. Just a nose ahead there from Ryan McGill to get that inside lane going. Final corner here, running out, flat out. Absolutely gas, pedal level, but the outside line might be coming enough. It's Ryan Johnson.
Oh.
RJ, the tiny horse, gets the stage win with the dying stages of that one. Got enough of a push from Lucas Lyons. Job done. Tiny horse back on top, stage 1.
What a run to end that stage out of the 38 of Ryan Johnson. Let's run through who were able to snag some of those stage points. Lucas Lyons gets second in that stage. Joshua Rodriguez third. Holden McGill fourth. Mark Morton up 11 spots so far. Fifth, you also see Matthew Montgomery, Matthew Wood, Nathan Maurer, and David Flanagan will be our top 10 there, Dean. You see some movers and shakers, and Jeff Merck just outside of the top 10 as well. But boy, we thought McGill was going to lead every lap there in that stage. He just about did, other than the lap that counted. And that went to Ryan Johnson, our stage number 1 winner here at Hotlanta. And boy, like I said, Dean, that was just the end of the first stage.
I wonder if we can manage to grab him as well, too. Some of the drivers are going in, but Ryan Johnson, Lucas Lyons, Joshua Rodriguez, Mark Morton, Brandon Broadford did not come in. As you can see, the rest of the drivers behind them. In fact, everybody in the field essentially at the moment are coming down. It's just like a crowded pit lane, jam full of trucks. Holden McGill will have that advantage of taking right up the front there. You can see his pit crew are just staring at his car and not bothering to do it, of course. And his perspective is just completely disappeared off there. Oh, bang, and reappeared back in the lead there ahead of Jordan. Wonder if we can get a quick speak to our stage 1 winner, if we can find him at all there, Will. Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, let me see
grab
if
him
I
up
can
here
get
before
on comms here. Yeah.
Before he grabs his pit stop, if he will be going into the pit, or if he's electing to stay out, give up a lot of track position. He's down there in Blue Lights Racing.
Doesn't look like you can reach him on comms just
Let me see if
yet
I can
here,
grab him.
Dean. Yeah.
No, I can't either. Oh, that's right. This is a problem that we had last week, so I do apologise on that one. He's got to come down now It must have been a situation. Well, that's weird why they didn't head down the pit road with the rest of the crew there before. Because Holden McGill, remember, was right next to him, so there wasn't a case of different times. But yeah, well, that's the situation. Unfortunately, we can't talk to the drivers about that. See if we get a hold of Cody at all. We can send Cody a message and say, Cody, can you please help us out with that again?
As we see right now, that's Lucas Lyons, Johnson. A few trucks are down pit road. Joshua Rodriguez. And like you said, Dean, it's the second. Interesting little spot here. As you see, Brandon Broadfoot's going to be the only truck that doesn't head down pit road here in this window. As you mentioned, a lot of trucks have already headed down. This is like the second wave. But Brandon Broadfoot, he's going to try to play the long game, Dean. Last time down pit road, lap 25 for him. So that truck's going to be very squirrely. It's going to be on roller skates here. It's going to be like skate night for Brandon Broadfoot here on this restart. Pace lights are off. We're going to go racing here once again in the concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. You just saw the conclusion of stage number 1. My name is William Tiller. I'm going to be joined by my co-commentator Wesley Outland in just a short while. In the meantime, though, we are joined by our wonderful producer Dean Hopton. And Dean, it has been a great race so far. A photo finish there at the end of stage number 1. Ready to go racing, though, once again in stage number 2.
Stage number 2 presented by the Glass Mechanic. Wonder if that'll be just as hype, as exciting here in Hot Atlanta as stage 1 was. As we get ready to go to lap 80 once again. There's 5 sets of tires, 100% fuel capacity, and this time around, Brandon Broadfoot, the one that only went down in that first caution that we had before the second caution. He's last time down there, lap 25. The rest of the drivers have all been down that lap 41 stage break.
You see him, he's just getting rumbled and tumbled and stumbled in the wash right there in the restart. Nobody could get by him. Luckily, though, those tires warmed up. He gets moving and moving on the racetrack. Did you already see the 6 machine of Jordan Jurassic? He is already inching on the back bumper of that 22 machine. In the meantime, though, there goes pole sitter holding the gill. He takes the lead, but it's very nice indeed as they're off of 4.
Yeah, can I make a little bit of that tire usage to his plan? He's back up there with Matty, actually. Jeff Merck, how's that Pookie, mate? He's making his run up there. 32 positions gain for the Merckstar, making an absolute rampage through the field. Brandon Broadfoot down. Jordan Jurassic dropped back a little bit to P6 currently at the moment. And for those that are wondering what happened there, Lucas Lyons, Ryan Johnson, they're all the way back at 35 and 36 after heading down pit lane the lap after the stage break, which was interesting.
That was a very interesting call there. We'll be sure to get you folks information about that call. It's very mind-boggling there as we watch the mean green machine of this 60. No green paint scheme here tonight for that 60 of Jeff Merck as he goes to the outside of the racetrack here coming off of 2. Our new race leader is going to be Montgomery in that 24 into 3 and 4 top side lane, though now held down by Jeff. He is now pushed along there on the top side of the racetrack by Jose Luis Rivera in that 20 machine. Haven't called his name out too much here tonight. Now finds himself inside of that top 5 into 1 and 2.
Yeah, good on you, Matty, making his way up to the front. That 10 positions game for the 24. He's been running with the front runners all race long, so he's in a strong position, of course, to give himself some more crucial stage break points, if not a stage win, the Glass Mechanic stage 2, if not a race win. That'll come at the end of 140.
We talked about how crucial stage points are as we come off the corner. You want to try to rack up as much as you can. Some of these races are not going to be your best performances. Some of them may be your best performances. But at the end of the day, Dean, it could be that cut line. It could be those points that get you over the top. And you talk about getting over the top. I want to check in with last week's winner, Keith Haney, in that 87 machine. He finds himself there down in that 12th position. He is moving and grooving through this race. He is already up 27 spots to the drop of the green flag. And it's sort of similar to what he did at Daytona last week, Dean. He just waited his turn. He kind of waited through these stages, waited through the chaos that ensued at Daytona, and then he won the race. So this almost feels like what he did last week.
He's got to get back onto the tailpipe on the high side, but exactly. Super Speedway Masters can make it work when it needs to count, and they're very, very patient. And patient drivers are the ones that have a lot of skill and experience on their shoulders, and they know that you're not going to win a race there and on lap 49 and 140. You win it on 140 or 140.
That's absolutely true. As long as you lead the last, it doesn't matter what you lead in a race. As it feels very calm here at lap 50. This is the 10th season concerns of police survivors trucks here. As I can't believe we're already into week number 2. We had the duels at Daytona. Our official first race of the season that saw Keith Haney win at the line. What an exciting race that was, folks. Who tuned into that one, and what a start of the season we have. We go to Vegas next week. Then we go to the MIA, Miami after that, and it just gets, the gauntlet starts. I believe we have Martinsville in the mix as well. We have some awesome racetracks coming up. Be sure to like and subscribe as you're watching along with us here. If you're not watching along, you're just listening along, make sure to hit that notification so you know next time we go racing. But now we have a drag race into 3 and 4. The 24 and the 60 are going for it for the race lead off of 4.
Speaking of Keith, he's up into the fence at the moment, running back there. I just saw him get right up into the guard, and so he's going to drop back quite a few places now. Still 23 positions up there for Keith. I don't think it'll just shake that one off and say it's no problem. That's okay. No major damage to it. Third line forming in the background there as well. So that might be Chris Blanchard. He's very capable of winning super speedways. There he is currently at the moment with Clinton, Maine, and they do have a 3-wide action going. Can anybody get up and give him some help up there? And then again, it starts to tighten those corners here at Atlanta, but it's still 3 wide.
We're 3 wide here at Hot Atlanta. That's the 9 machine of Chris Blanchard on the outside. You got the 30 in the middle of Pearson. You also have the low side of the racetrack. Now it's getting a little bit more fanned out as the 9 gets comfortable with the top sidewall there, dude.
Yeah, Chris Blanchard he's trying to get it going. He's like, all right, let's do it. And that's going to be a very dangerous position because you do have a car coming up on the inside apron here at the moment they have to get past. He's going to have to get right out of Dodge, and he completely will. That's the 83 of Luke Smith just saying, and if they're thinking about going 3 wide, which they were, no space inside that double yellow line. Outside the double yellow.
You don't want a pretty Ricky the top sidewall. No bumping and grinding here at Hot Atlanta. 3 and 4, we're just square dancing. We'll keep it like that little 2x2x2x2 all the way down the racetrack here, Dean. It's a great shot for the sponsors because nobody's moving. Everybody's linked up. 55 into 1 and 2.
So back getting a push. Look how close they are together. They're separated by about a piece of paper that we have our racing notes on. That is how close this racing is. And when you're racing that close, of course, a little bit of an air bump, a little bit of wind draft or whatever, bingo, you're into a car. And if you're into a car at the start of the field here, there's a bunch of about 40 something cars down the road there all ready to T-bone you at 200 kilometers an hour.
Now, Dean, I'll ask you this question here as we're going to watch the field cross that line into 1 and 2. Do you want to be a truck like Jeff Merck, you find yourself in the second position, top side of the racetrack, you get pushed along? Or do you want to be like the 87 of Keith Haney, who finds himself a little bit further on down the grid, doesn't have to worry about all this unnecessary pressure here at the top side?
Any day of the week at the front, mate, because those front 2 cars, they're only their worst enemy. Well, the front 4, of course, because somebody get into your rear bumper, but that's it. There is a wreck up front, nothing's going to happen up front, but if you're the like of Keith, you're going to have to think about very quickly within a split second or a nanosecond, go, where am I going to go when all I can see is smoke and cars on their lids and all over the place?
Absolutely, that's true. If you have nowhere to go, if you're on the backside of the racetrack, you can't see through that traffic, but right now, I don't think you're going to be able to see much as everybody's just so linked up with one another. Still on the top side of the racetrack, you find yourself with Jeff Merck, Jose Luis Rivera's up there. Matt Wood is up there in that 21 machine. Brandon Broadfoot in that 22 is on the low side. Flanagan's inside of the top 10. Scruggs, Peterson, Blanchard are the top 10. They're going to ride on board with Holden McGill, our pole sitter, Dean. And he was running very, very strong, blocking both lanes there in that first stage until that very, very last lap. Now that strategy sort of changed. He finds himself the pusher here in the stage.
He's in a good position. We still don't know exactly why that alternative strategy worked differently for Lucas Lyons. We know Lucas Lyons fans out there. Lucas Lyons currently running in 30th place. Ryan Johnson has sliced and diced his way back up through the field. Stage 1 winner is in 24th place, just behind Cody Knott. Look at the track temperature. It's actually increased by 4 degrees as we're in the nighttime conditions now.
That's so many wild things happening here at. I think it's just because these trucks have been running so clean all night. We've only had one caution. It could be why that track surface is hot, because the trucks have been running hot. So much asphalt being laid down here at the Super Speedway setup, the setup that everybody loves, Dean. But only one caution of the night so far. Of course, we had that stage break, but already just about 10-15 laps here into stage number 2 with 20 laps to go. Haven't seen a caution flag wave just yet as we're into 3 and 4.
Have a look at this. So Matthew's leading this pack 1, but we've got Brian Johnson's the second pack now. See that? So they can't even see the other cars. We have a caution.
Oh, caution. Wow, Dean, what a commentator's curse
who was that? Don't tell me it was... Go ahead. Who?
Wow. As you see, Johnson in the 38.
But I didn't catch who it was.
No, I didn't either. As we were chatting about it, yeah, as that Surf Pro caution flag waves. Wow.
Let's know in chat if anybody knows who that is, because I'm only seeing... Well... looking at the 39th place of Eric Zimmerman, but he was just driving around by himself here. He's going to catch up the rest of the pack there. We've got 41st Luke Smith coming back down the inside of the apron. We're going to expect some pit stops actually right now. Chris Blanche is going in, Tristan Bruce is going in.
And we'll check out who brought out our third caution of the night, our second on-track caution, as trucks are now heading down pit road here. All the players in this race are down as we look at just about 18 laps to go here in this stage. We're going to race to lap 80 to wrap up stage number 2 here in the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. Indeed, what a race it's been so far. A little bit of a changing of the guard in stage number 2.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a pity we can't actually chat to a driver and find out what happened on that one, but we'll take a short commercial break. We'll see if we can get any information for you. Please don't go anywhere. We're back very, very soon to continue on our stage 2 presented by the Glass Mechanic. It's the Concerns of Police Survivors round 2 at Hot Atlanta.
For Murph's Magical Creations, home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
And we're back here at Hot Atlanta. We had our flag wave again, Dean, and it was a mysterious, could have been one of those trash bags on the racetrack cautions, because we're not sure what brought out the Surf Pro caution flag for the third time. But here we are, re-racked and ready to rock and roll here as the field heads down the backstretch.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was my pet kangaroo that I bring up here in Hot Atlanta. He escaped and he's just jumped across the track there, and the marshals yelled out, "Caution!" And so that's the situation. So Skip's all right, just to let everybody know. He's up in the booth with me. He's a little hungry at the moment. I'll give him a little bit of nosebag tucker a little later on at the moment once we get into our stage 2, which will be at lap 80. We've had our stage 1 break. We're just trying to confirm that with our fantastic race director, TJ Moore. We will go to lap 80 for stage 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic. And once again, mysterious caution before that. As far as we know, it was just Skip. But for now, everybody's in one piece and they're back out on the racetrack.
They are reset, ready to rock and roll down pit road. Let's get it going here at Hot Atlanta as Matthew Montgomery will take that green flag into 1 and 2, and mama, here comes that man. So again, Jeff Merck in that 60 up 32 spots here in this race. Finds himself Mr. Solo Dolo on the outside, though, D. No help as they come off a 2 down the backstretch.
It starts to get in the nighttime conditions at the moment. So Dawn Merck, Mama Merck, going for her man. Jeff Merck is in the outside lane, trying to get a little bit of help here to get somebody to push it up. But at the moment, nowhere to squeeze in there. Inside apron there, Jeff Merck, you're going to have to sit on the high side as he's battling it out with MDW. Jose Luis Rivera, my friend you were talking about before, he's up 11 places now from the number 20 machine, Holden McGill, and Matthew still in the front running of this race. Fantastic stage 2 here. This is the A's Lawn and Land 200 for the Consensus Police Survivor.
And Dean, I gotta say, that's the worst feeling ever, even in real life. When you're trying to turn into traffic, nobody's letting you in. You just need to go that one way, and nobody's letting you in. You inch forward, you inch to the side, nobody's letting you in traffic. That's what's happening to the 60 machine of Jeff Merck, but he's going 180 miles an hour at the high banks of Hotlanta here. So you can only imagine how much harder that is to get in line. But now he has a little bit of help there on the top side of the racetrack as Jose Luis Rivera is going to go up with him, work that draft a little bit into 3 and 4. But I got to say, that strong line is still the low side of the racetrack as we come off of 4.
Yeah, Jose's going to get a nice push there from the catch fence for entry there of Jeff Merck. And once you get that little push going on the outside lane, there it is. You start to just slowly creep in. As you can see, Holden McGill's speed show, number 33, just to the left there. And Holden McGill always puts on a show of speed. There you go, should be a show of speed there. Speed show man, Mr. Holden McGill. And MM still in the lead of this one. Dustin Scroggs has now made his way up the 11 machine. And David Flanagan's back in here for the number 5. Remember, he was running up the front there about 3 or 4 positions up further than where he is currently at the moment. So that is your field. But they are starting to break away a little bit. Again, we're seeing these little breakaway packs forming here. As we look at the static camera, there's a little bit of a gap between them and the rest of the field to start. Probably single file then, I would, gentlemen, if you want to catch them over.
Yeah, that starts to happen just at around the 13th position. We're going to find Brandon New just at the last stretch of this lane. Then after that, you got Buzzy Mongo in the 15th spot, still inside the top 15. As you said, Dean, it just drops off a cliff after that. You have Joshua Rodriguez, Nathan Ryan, and Keith Haney, last week's winner. Let's shuffle out a little bit. These second and a half, 2 seconds behind our race leader. And look at the 20 machine of Jose Luis Rivera. Do not call that pink on that truck, Dean. That is magenta. That is a T-Mobile magenta. And I tell you what, it is Friday, but it's feeling like a T-Mobile Tuesday here on the racetrack as he takes us down the front stretch.
I think he can hear everything clearer right now. Currently, in the moment, the T-Mobile machine is just he's hearing what you're saying at the moment. It is giving a nice little flow there because he's now challenging Matty, that's been in the lead for several laps now. So give him a bit of a run for his money. Holden McGill's always dangerous to be lurking around the background. Jeff Merck as well, too. You know, they can come through the field there and get a win if needed. Raul Meza, how's that? We haven't mentioned him. He's also made some massive gains up. He's up 27 places after all those pit stops and shenanigans have sorted itself out there. So well done to him. He also boxed on lap 41. So they're all even Stevens when it comes to that pit lane and the gasoline. We don't know about the tyres necessarily that they have taken. It was about 15 second pit stop that last time around, so perhaps no boots that are made for walking these trucks around yet. But with give or take 9 laps to go in there, and stage 2 presented by the Glass Mechanic. Now it's time to get moving.
Laps at stage number 2 as we come off of 4. Been necessarily clean so far here in this stage. Just the one mysterious caution there just in the middle of the stage. Other than that, Dean, been very clean and very exciting though as the drivers in 4th position on the racetrack. You see a 37 machine of Raul. He's being pushed along by a man that I would have to say is one of the goats here at Nazareth. We call him the Wayne, the LeBron James, the Michael Jordan, whoever. Adam Newber in that 4 machine finds himself just outside of the top 5, but this is exactly where you want to find yourself here at the end of stage number 2.
Just clarifying something with race control as to that, perhaps that caution that happened a little bit earlier there, that may have just been a little bit of a malfunction of the lighting system to call that stage break or by prematurely early because it's coming up right now in 7 laps.
As I said, trash bag on the racetrack or one of your Joeys running across the racetrack there, D.
One of. Yeah, you have one, my friend. Yeah. Little Skip. Yep. He's tucked away at the moment here in Australia, mate, because he's had to buckle in there and for the cyclone. It's just past the water right now and a bit of wind. A lot of rain and wind, but at the moment, as I said, this cycloptic drivers at the moment are battling it out on track. They're breaking the winds at 200 miles per hour. Runners have dropped back quite significantly. He's up on the high side at the moment. He's elected to back out of this nice little battle at the moment. So, 5 to go. Can Matty hold on and get his stage break win for stage 2?
Boy, I don't know. Those trucks, they're coming down their front stretch, look very, very squirrely. As Adam Newbert found himself in a bit of a banger there. And race was 3 wide for a moment as Montgomery in that 24 still on the low side with Jose Luis Rivera. The 20 machine has found himself inside of that top 5, top 10 for the majority of this race. Ever since that first movement up to the top 10, we've been top 5 here the rest of the go into 1 and 2. Now 4 laps to go in stage number 2.
It's been some fantastic racing considering we have a stacked field of give or take 43 drivers, or 42 perhaps with some retirements actually. Yep, 42. That's just fantastic. You know, two packs of trucks at the moment on the track, as you can see on the track map, but with 4 to go, this is crunch time.
24 had an issue on the exit of the corner there, Dean. I don't know if he got some speed, but definitely checked up on the low side of the racetrack. The 20 wasn't ready for that.
Jose's going to have to scrub off a big speed there. Jose's going to be very cautious. Everybody's going to be passing him like you're like they're German businessmen on the Autobahn, and that will be a little disappointing for Jose. He had his nose out there, was close enough to perhaps steal the stage 2 win away, but at this point he's just going to have to bring that car home and try to maximise the amount of points he can get for the stage break win. Points, of course. Sorry, go ahead.
It is not absolute heartbreak just yet like the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl, but boy, it is starting to feel very, very nightmarish for the 20 machine of Jose Luis Rivera. Not only do you make contact with the top side wall, but boy, he just slipped all the way outside of the top 15, Dean. Now has a tough hill to climb here as we have to go here in stage number 2.
Here comes MDW around the outside, getting a huge push there from Jeff Merck. That's going to be enough in the middle there, getting left hung for drive. 3 wide, we can expect someone to see this into the fence. A couple of the drivers pushing this truck to the absolute limit on the last lap of stage 2. The 24 still squeezing the inside. Jeff Merck's trying to see if he can get way around MDW, getting him a push. It's not going to be enough. Holden McGill has that advantage out the front there, and he has enough there. David Schwab give him a push across the line unless he wants to go for it. He said last lap. Oh, hard leg into the fence there again from MDW. That's going to scrub off some speed. Look at it for Holden.
My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're working, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Okay, I'm going to give it a shot there. 24 is going to give it no push whatsoever. That would have made a big difference, I would imagine. The 24 would have helped out David. Couldn't quite. That gave a bit of breathing space. Little bit behind him, 35, and the 24 all scaling it out for the second place. But obviously at the end of the day, Holden McGill was the one that ultimately gets stage 2.
They don't wanna see me make it, they don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time.
Banging out some of those fantastic sponsors here on the NASRA network. This is the Concerns of Police Survivors Round 2 at Hot Atlanta.
Is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I won't get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down, they wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt, they're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded,
Starbase,
then it's your chance to be ruthless.
We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
The Mania Club Champions Football Foundation thrives on the strength of its global community of over 80,000 passionate fans united by a shared love of professional wrestling and a commitment to making a difference. While the foundation was founded to advocate for pediatric cancer awareness and mental health support, it has grown to champion and support multiple initiatives aimed at creating meaningful change in communities worldwide. Through dynamic fundraising events, awareness campaigns, and initiatives that foster connection, the foundation supports causes that uplift individuals and families in need. From empowering children and families facing significant challenges to creating opportunities for hope, healing, and progress. The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation is dedicated to being a force for good. This connected and compassionate community continues to inspire action and drive impact, ensuring that hope and support remain at the forefront of all its efforts. Donate today and join the cause at mcchamps.org.
Welcome back to the A, the hot here in the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. We just had our stage break, our last stage break of the night. It's going to be Holden McGill, our pole sitter. He went second in stage number 1. He came back and won stage number 2. Let's see if he can get that checkered flag. But it's going to be Holden McGill taking us into 1 and 2 with Montgomery there in that 24 as McGill gets to the low side of the racetrack. Flanagan with him in that 5. We saw the heat he tried to apply as he comes roaring off the 2 down the backstretch.
It's focus time for these drivers because they've got to build up speed there, get the temperature back into those tyres. They all went down pit road on lap 81, the end of Glass Mechanic Stage 2. Now it's that sprint race to the end. But I don't think they're going to have a chance of going all the way to 140 on a set of gas, 100% gas tank.
No, indeed, we're going to see at least one set of green flag pit stops depending on how this stage plays out. It's been very clean so far. It's been Racing Network. Just maybe a handful of on-track cautions, if that many, 2 or 3 throughout the night. We had that one with a kangaroo raced across the racetrack as well. So thanks to our producer Dean with his pet here at Hot Atlanta. As we come down the front stretch, it's going to be Holden McGill, and what a performance it has been for the 33 machine. He was our pole sitter, led just about every lap in that first stage until a heartbreak struck at the line. He lost that first stage, came back, great performance in stage number 2 as the 5 machine of Flanagan is on his back bumper. Also the 30 of Peterson's up there, and what a run it's been for the mean green machine of Jeff Merck. You see him up there in that 60. He is up 32 spots. This is the drop of the green flag. Not only is he in contention for that checker, he is also in contention for our biggest mover of the race here tonight at the A. But I think, Dean, he wants the checkered flag more so that biggest mover.
Jed Mopuki says, what's qualifying? Who needs qualifying if you can make your way up through the field there? And he certainly has proven he could do that. I'll tell you another one. After the round of pit stops that were a little bit, we're not sure why, our stage 1 winner, Ryan Johnson, after the battling his way back from the back of the field there, electing to take that pit stop a lap later than the rest of the field. He's back up the front here when push comes to shoving. He knows that just around the corner, and in fact, it's 53 laps from now, he's got a shot at winning the race here, locking himself into the playoffs.
And one number that we know very synonymous with Atlanta, with Daytona, is the 3 machine, and this time it's Tristan Bruce. He's at 21 spots from the drop of the green flag, now inside of that top 10. We saw the run he had at Daytona last week, trying to back it up again here at Atlanta. It's very dicey. Let's call this the hornet's nest of the racetrack here, Dean. Nobody knows what to work with. None of the lanes are clean. Right now, Tristan Bruce, he's just watching from the outside, a little courtside vision here of where to go, who to work with. You see Montgomery in that 24. If it was me, I'd try to link up on the back bumper of the 24. He's been very fast all night long as you're going to jump on that 3 machine of Tristan Bruce racing out of Denver, North Carolina as we cross that start-finish line. They make it lap 90 into 3 and 4. And this is exactly what I was speaking about to start this race. Very cool in the back. Oh, we have a driver into the wall. That's the 9. That is the 9 machine right there. It's Chris Blanchard. Just got close and comfy with the topside wall.
Yeah, Chris Blanchard from Blanchard's Towing Recovery, who's going to be requiring his own service if he continues to hard lick into the fence like that. But luckily he gets to keep that car in one piece there. Whether it's done a lot of serious damage, you'll only be able to tell in time. But so far, so good for him. He's picked up back up at the pace. Interesting, as you said. Well, another thing too is that Tristan Bruce now is the Pookie Jr. Their teammates is now with Jeff Merck, so we can get up there on the back of Jeff Merck. You know, those two are going to push each other across the line as much as they possibly can. David Flanagan as well too did a fantastic drive for himself, that number 5 machine, but once again he's that case that if he does happen to go out wide like he tried to take on Holden McGill in that end of stage 2, he didn't get a push from anybody, so you're going to have to get on the horn there and call out some of your mates and say, hey, who wants to help me get across that line and perhaps get myself a win here.
Yeah, as the field comes off of the corner, Holden McGill, that 33-star race leader. And Dean, another thing that I want to mention as well, sort of tailing off of what you're talking about, is this has been about, as the 12 machines now bouncing off the wall there. Got a good shot of who that is. That's Mark bouncing off the wall, and he's rocking the Georgia Bulldogs paint scheme. Shout out to our man Jake Reeves, who's also a Georgia Bulldog at heart. But he's bouncing off the wall here at Atlanta. Not something you want to do. But Dean, back to my point there, all the drivers here tonight have been virtually identical. We haven't seen one driver really peel off from the rest. Of course, we're seeing Holden McGill up here at the top side of the racetrack as our race leader majority of the race. But as far as this top 10, top 15 goes, it's been very airtight up here in the majority of the race.
That has, absolutely. Fantastic racing between these gladiators here at the Cosenza Police Survivors for our anniversary season, as well as we're getting closer to the 100th century mark at the moment of this race, which will just leave you the 40 remaining with a scheduled pit stop that's going to be crucial. Look at the tiny horse, my friend. He's gone from the penthouse to the outhouse and back up to the penthouse. It's just a nose ahead there of Jeff Merck.
And I gotta say, who is that guy in the 27 machine of Bevan? He has come out of nowhere in this race. He finds himself in the mix as well now inside the top 3 as now Jeff Merck is on the low side of the racetrack pushing Johnson along. But here comes the man I was speaking about racing out of the Louisville, Kentucky. Isaac Bevan's going to come off of 4. He is now in contention for the race WS. He might get a lap led here across the line. No, still Johnson across that line into 1 and 2. But Bevan's going to bring another guy with him. We haven't too much here tonight. That's Dustin Scruggs in that 11. We saw him get lapped earlier, Dean. He is now back on the lead lap. Not only that, he's inside the top 5.
That's absolutely brilliant racing, because knowing that super speedways, things can change on a dime. Just flip a dime and you can be all of a sudden back up into it, or you could be way out of it. But at the moment, a lot of these drivers are all on the lead lap. Fantastic here. That's why you love having those stage break cautions as well too, so that you can re-rack and restack them and give drivers an opportunity so they can't get too far up the field there. I do apologize to everybody that's tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. But Yeah, iRacing won't allow us to go out and put some more floodlights in the track so we can see the beautiful liveries that these drivers have. They just elected to keep a lot of this as dark as possible, but my beef is with iRacing, my friend. Allow me access to make modifications, and I will put lights all over this track and light up these beautiful trucks.
I mean, we're at the A, dude. It's going to be like a club vibe. Going to have the lights down low, the energy high, the fireworks busting out in the air.
Oh, Isaac!
Very much an Atlanta vibe as we almost saw the 27 Isaac Bevan get loosey-goosey off of 2. But there goes Jeff Merck to the top side of the racetrack. He wants to link up with a newcomer here in this race. Maybe they can find something on the top side of the racetrack. And there they go. They'll go. That's the start-finish line. Jeff Merck, though, briefly thought about it. Whoa, and there he goes. Wow, he just said, Luda, move it out of the way as he takes the race lead once again down the backstretch. Jeff Merck, our race leader, our biggest mover, 34 spots, takes us into 3 and 4.
That's a Coca-Cola esports moment right there. You see that with the best in the business when they do that. They find the perfect moment to shut the door on another driver as he came right down on the front bumper there of Ryan Johnson. Just enough space to shut the door on him. Brilliant driving. That's what you see from the best drivers in the world. And of course, they do that over and over again. You get better and better at it, and it's always risk it for the biscuit moments, but absolutely fantastic. And that goes to show you how much confidence that these drivers have, and also truck awareness to know that when you come back down, you can't see the back of your truck, right? You're relying on your spotter, but you're also going, okay, do I have just enough to sneak in? Because you don't want to lose too much speed. And also, it's just risking it for the biscuit. Brilliant driving, Jeff Merck.
And this is where you don't really want to hear a spotter's voice at a racetrack like this, or a race that's this close. You start hearing that spotter's voice, it's going to get very, very aggravating. Inside, outside. You just tell the spotter, I got you, man. We have trucks all over the place. And right now, that's probably what they're saying across the radio. Just be quiet. We know where we're at on the racetrack. Just settle in right here. We crossed that century mark, 102 in the books here at the A's Lawn and Landscaping 200. My name is William Tiller. We await Wesley Allen up here in the booth. In the meantime, though, it is a wonderful producer, Dean Hopton. And Dean, very clean race, very fast race here tonight at the A, as Jeff Merck, our biggest mover, our race leader, is now fighting off Johnson and Scruggs off of 4 as we're going to make it 103 into 1.
Let's see Dustin Scruggs at the moment getting a nice little push from behind the number 3 there, and that is Tristan Bruce. So he's finally managed to slice and dice his way up through the field, not too far away from Pookie himself, Jeff Merck. If he can get up there, those two could work together and perhaps block the rest of the teams behind them. Brilliant driving, of course, to Dustin Scruggs, as I mentioned. Isaac Bevan doing a solid job there for the 27 machine. Holden McGill's back in that P6 position, certainly not out of that one. Chris Blanchard, after having a little tangle with the fence there, he's still holding on to a P8. Stephen Gregory, another fantastic mover, the number 61 truck, up 32 places, P9.
Yeah, just rounding out that top 10. We also look at Grant Peterson, 8 spots. Jose Luis Rivera. He was battling for the lead. Making his way back. Last week's winner, Keith Haney, just right there in 12th. Matthew Montgomery in that 24. Dean, he has slid back just a little bit down to 14th. Rounding out our top 15, we have Adam Newton in that 19 machine. I want to shout out some of these drivers just outside of the top 15. You look at Robbie Richards back there, Adam back there. Some of these guys that wish they had better days going for them here tonight. And some other guys that have slid back from the start of this race. Jordan Jurassic's back there as well. Joshua Rodriguez, Lucas Lyons. So some guys that started off really great in this race now. Nest here with just about 35 laps to go.
Jeff Merck is not wanting to allow many people past him at the moment. I'm just interested to see if Dustin Scruggs wants to come up there and Jeff Merck says, I'm going to try to shut the door, and he's got enough of a breathing space to go to the inside line and to the outside line. He's kind of controlling. He's just hovering a little bit in the middle-ish, so it's just throwing, playing some cards there, playing some games there, playing some tricks on Justin to make Justin question whether or not Pookie will come up on him, and if he can get that run Dustin does now. Now he knows that Pookie's not going to come up on him unless he's going to intentionally try to door him, which Jeff Merck won't do. And that's Tristan Bruce. So look at this, Tristan Bruce into play here. This is what's crucial at the moment. They're waiting to the crunching time of this race, but they're also thinking about those pit stops that are coming around the corner. Only 100% fuel capacity, and they can look at doing that. But of course, you've got to be thinking about you're the inside line, have the opportunity to get on pit road if you're on the outside. You need to cut something's door off if you want to head down there.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. If you find yourself, you look at Keith Haney back there, he's in a very difficult position. He's on the top side of the racetrack trying to get low, but you're also just outside of that top 10. So if you don't make a move to get down to the low side of the racetrack, that could cost you. There he is now on the low side, but that could cost you a bunch of spots if you can't get down there fast enough.
Move a caution.
Oh, there it is. Circle caution flag waves. It's waving as trucks are spinning on the backstretch. That's the 48 of Robbie Richards. Oh my goodness, just as we were talking about that hornet's nest of drivers back there, drivers that wish their days were going better, and some guys that were having great days as we check out that Pulse Poppers instant replay. And it's going to involve the exact drivers I was just talking about, Dean. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Commentator's curse.
3 wide in the background there, look. Something's going to be pearl-shaped here, and I think it's going to happen around this spot anyway. 4 wide! Yeah, and there is somebody hard licked into the fence. Can't quite see who that is specifically.
That's the 5 of Flanagan.
Oh, that's the 5 of Flanagan, yeah. And I know that something's going to go, but we know there it is. 5 gets in to Robert
48.
Richards there, 48. That's interesting. If we could see out of the dark here, oh, he's going to be up almost on his lid there. No, keeps it off. Just to let everybody know, drivers will all head in pit road right now, as to be expected they are, as we're looking at the replay pictures. So we're not going to have anything to cover you on that one. And yeah, so the number 5, but kind of started, didn't it, from Flanagan first, right? And then it went a little bit pearl-shaped. Oh, who else was involved in that one? Just trying to see if we can go back to have a look at David.
We really go 4 wide on the racetrack there, and then I think Flanagan almost runs out of racetrack there on the top side right here as they come off
there.
the corner. He's just going to run out of racetrack. Maybe he thinks it's a dirty move out of the 48 not to give him room, or he thinks the 48 comes down on him. Boy, I think maybe the 48 didn't know the 5. That could be an option as well. It just could be that they came off the corner, 48 didn't know the 5 was there, it was outside.
And then as Ed might have been a passenger for this one, he's cruising along. Let's have a look at what happens a little bit further up. As you can see, he's going to be thinking 3 wide, 4 wide? That's not going to work. And then all of a sudden he's going to see what the results are. No time that you have at the back. This is what we're talking about earlier. You have milliseconds to react. At that point, you're just a passenger. So is Buzzy Mongold. He was also running back here and just doing his own thing. And once again, you'll see that all happen there. And for a driver, you don't see much, can you? And then he goes down to the inside apron, says, I'm fine, but then gets tagged by somebody else coming back up. And that's your Pulse Poppers replay. And that's from the Pulse Poppers car, too, of Robert Richards. Everybody's come in and out of pit road right now. And the leader on that one will be Dustin Scruggs.
Yeah, just looking at some of those other trucks involved in that, just some still down pit road. Look at Brennan Broadfoot. He's a couple laps down. Buzzy Mongo, we just talked about him. Nathan Maurer was involved in that. Owen Scrooge was involved in that. Eric Zimmerman, Robbie Richards, we saw replay as well. Raul Meza looks to be caught up in that as well, Dean. So a lot of great trucks caught up just in the backpack there. Jeff Merck looks to either have headed down pit road as some trucks are electing to head down pit road here just to get reset on this run. But Dean, that's going to open the door for somebody really to make a splash. Who are you looking at here on this restart? Tristan Bruce, Isaac Bevan, maybe Mark Morton. Who are you looking at here at Atlanta?
Well, I'm also looking at why Jeff Merck went down there. So Jeff Merck's in pit lane right now, as you can see, the MER. So he's electing, maybe he's just got a double top up there to make sure he has enough to run to the end. 30 laps are remaining in this race as drivers just went down on lap 109 for a fuel up. I think Merck has got damage or something. He's been in there for a minute and change. We'll just have a look at Merck Cam. He's still sitting in the car. His hands are off the steering wheel. Wasn't involved in an incident that we saw there. But if we get a chance, we'll go back and have a look. But he'll be heading out of pit road.
He's not happy.
No?
I could tell maybe that's not a point that he wanted us to cut in, because he is not a happy camper here at Atlanta. Does not. I don't know what may have happened there in that caution flag, but he does not look psyched. As we're ready to rock and roll here at Atlanta once again, 5 cautions, folks. 2 of those were stage breaks, only 3 on-track cautions. But here we go. It's going to be the race as Dustin Scruggs takes us into corner number 1 with Ryan 38 with him. Tristan Bruce, Isaac Bevan, Holden McGill are top 5 as they go off of 2 here down the backstretch. Justin Scruggs in that 11 hasn't been our leader yet here in this race, but he is doing a great job so far down the backstretch. There goes Johnson. He is a man that has wanted that all race long, has just never found his place to hold it down for longer than a lap. Tristan Bruce in that 3 machine, of course, he wants to put the 3 in victory lane as they come off of 4D. Holden McGill in that 33, he is in the spot he hasn't been all race long. He is outside of the top 3 as we go into 1 and 2.
He comes here, yep, Tristan Bruce, and it might have been another moment. Raul Mesa might have gone off the track there, but it might have been a single incident there as Raul Mesa, yes, at the back, so he is okay. They're coming up with some lap traffic already, actually, and I'm not sure who that is, unless that's Jeff Merck, and perhaps it is actually, I think it might be Jeff Merck coming up very soon at rapid pace. How's he going to help out Tristan Bruce? Is on the outside there. His teammate, Merck's going to go up the inside apron at the moment. They're all going to go around the outside, so Merck will go a lap down, but there it is. Dustin Scruggs, Tristan Bruce, Holden McGill, and the Tiny Horse in the top 4. Whoa! Hard lick in the fence.
Whoa! As we have trucks into the outside wall, and that's an absolute tip of the cap to Jeff Merck in that 60 machine, a guy who is battling for the lead there for a long stretch of the race. Dean knows he is out of it now. He tips the cap to the leaders as they go roaring by. We're not quite sure what happened to the 60 machine, but he is out of this race. Now Tristan Bruce in that 3 takes us into 1 and 2. Scruggs on the low side of the racetrack in the 11. Holden McGill is still in the mix. Isaac Bevan, I would say a newcomer in this race. We haven't really heard his name a lot. He's making a splash late. But Art Moore, what a way to come back. Remember, Dean, he scraped the wall. He had some issues, had to pull out a line there in that Georgia Bulldog machine, but trying to make our co-commentator Jake Reed proud by putting the Georgia Bulldogs in victory lane. Doing a great job so far as we cross that line with 25 laps to go.
Football and motor racing hand-to-hand together here on the NASMA Network all the time. Hello, Ian. Good to see you out there. How's racing been tonight? Quite good, actually, my friend. Quite good. Only a handful of cautions, considering we're 42 or so trucks, and they make that massive wreck.
Oh no, that's Montgomery in the 24. He's going to be caught up. Cardenas in the 15 as well. Wow, that caught me by surprise. I saw trucks in the air off of the corner, Dean, as we're going to check out that Pulse Poppers instant replay. And it's going to involve the 24, Matthew Montgomery, who, it's just one of those moments, Dean, where he was racing for the lead, very strong here tonight, probably finds himself back here because of that restart. And it's just going to be an accordion effect on the top side.
I think, yeah. Oh, no, he got tagged behind from the 2.
But did the 2 get maybe just a little bit of a... Yeah. Did he get sketched out, maybe? Did he get nervous? What was going on? Or was there contact?
Into the 2.
There may have been contact.
And then into the... well, there it is. So try to get frame by frame even. It's a difficult one to see in this angle.
A little bit of that, a little bit of the touch on the quarter panel, a little bit of and the 24, I'd say just an innocent bystander. Probably had no idea what was happening.
Number 2 was brand new. So we'll just see if he comes down into the 48 or not. Or the 48 comes up into him. Race control of TJM. Well, they might be reacting, of course, to the 4 hitting the fence as well. So that's a possibility.
Now, on that, Dean, if you rewind it just a little bit, from that angle, rewatching it, doesn't look like there was much contact. Maybe the 2 may have just gotten loose off of the corner. Right here with the sparks flying. Yeah, he may have just gotten loose on his own.
Yep, that's brand new. And that's going to be...
I don't know if there was contact there or not, because it looks like the sparks flying off what was happening in front of him, the air just wasn't right. I think he may have gotten a little loose and just maybe overreacted from the different arrow coming across that truck. It just looked, from that angle, it looked a little different.
Didn't lift.
You see... Yeah, you see his hands go sideways on the wheel there, so I'm not sure. Yeah. And that's one of those, I'm sure if it was incidental. He probably got right across that radio and let the 48 know, like, hey, man, like, I got loose. There's nothing really, because from the initial replays, it does look a little intentional. You know, a little bit of that corner panel action where you just fender at angle, like the 2 gets loose, clips the 24. 24's race, who was a top dog in this race. Dean is now unfortunately out of it here in A's Lawn and Landscaping 200. Creeping down to that 20 to go, 15 to go, Dean.
Yes, sir.
Only 6 cautions. Been a great race here on the NASCAR 360.
Time to thank really quickly their Premier Racing setups. Usually we do a 20 to go. We're going to go quickly check in from them, and then we'll be back for the finale. Back live, and hopefully we're going to try to sort out some sort of technical issues in the background, but we are ready to sprint it out here with 22 to go. Actually, Dustin Struggs, Trish and Bruce, what a big gain in a 29 positions game for the P3 machine. Will, this one's
yeah,
we're
ready to rock and roll. Yeah, man, we're going to go here. The lights are dim. We were ready for some fireworks. Let's go racing once again here at Atlanta as our leader, Dustin Scruggs, takes us into 1.
Cool, calm, and
Holden
collected.
McGill already pushing along on the low side of the racetrack. Dean wasting no time getting at it, already gnawing at the back bumper of the 11. You also see Tristan Bruce up there in the mix. Mark Morton, Grant Peterson, our top 5, as we're now into 3 and 4. McGill trying to waste no time to get that lead as we're down the front stretch.
Just trying to wait at the moment if anybody's got to look at it, get against second lane going, third lane going. Well, just get 5 lanes going if you really want to, gentlemen. But at some point, it's going to get slicey and dicey. Very interesting here. They're starting to really push it, really make some risks here at the moment. The 3 pushing on the back there. Morton, Dustin Scruggs, Chris Blanchard's up in the mix there.
Oh, trucks
Another
sideways, trucks wrecking on the backstretch. We're wrecking. That's the 6 back there. Jordan Jurassic, he is sideways on the backstretch. Other trucks involved as well. And now the Surf Pro caution flags are waving in the air like dollar bills at Tootsie's here at Atlanta as Jordan Jurassic in that 6. Awesome setup, awesome lights, but not so awesome night here for the 6 machine as you see the racing stripes down the side here as we check out that Pulse Poppers instant replay.
Yeah, and let's have a look at the moment. I thought, honestly, that there was going to be some shenanigans at the front, but it ended up happening a little bit further back. So our Concerns Police Survivor is last season champion here, Jordan. Gets into a bit of a tango there. Oh, yep, and into the 80. You can't quite see it on the darking track here from iRacing. And that's unfortunate for Jordan. Go back and just see how much he got into him. 83, there it is. Jordan comes down on him or he comes up into him. It's a difficult one to say. TJ Moore's on race control. He'll have a look at that one. And how many other trucks were involved? Boom! It's a hard lick, I think, from... I'm not sure who that driver was, but that's the only other driver I think that might have been involved in that one.
And you're going to feel that, Dean, even though this is simulator racing, you're going to feel that on the wheel, that impact. Right when Jordan Jurassic thought he was good and he was sideways, he didn't think he was good. He knew his night was over from the damage. But right when you still have your hands on there, you get that last impact right on your hands, and it's just makes your night compoundedly worse than it already is. And that's going to wrap up another Pulse Poppers instant replay. Dean, 7 cautions in. 18 laps to go. I think we're in for a few more cautions here at the end of this race, because what I noticed there is when we go 3 wide, 4 wide, everybody starts to fan out. Nobody really knows what to do. The arrow gets a little funky back there. You get a little sideways. And as airtight as this race has been all night long, you get a little sideways, you clip somebody, and then you take out 3 or 4 trucks along the way.
I did think it was a little earlier for these drivers. You still got 18 to go. We are on a super speedway. It's not like you're at Bristol or something like that, or at Short. You've got time to get moving. I would have thought they would have said comfortable to do that the double file at least. Get into your groove, get into your rhythm, get the temperature back into those tires, and then start making your moves. With 18 to go, it's plenty of time generally for any of those drivers in the top 10 to do that. But no, they didn't get the memo on that one. They all wanted to gun-ho. They wanted to get 3 wide, and that's the result. Another caution.
That is the soothing Aussie voice of our producer, Dean Hopton. I am William Tiller. As we await Wesley Allen here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, we want to thank you all for tuning in here tonight. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for when we go racing again on Wednesday night, and also catch us back here on Monday night as well. This is the 10th season of the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. It has been holding the gilt at the top of our stage, number 2 winner, but here at this long run to close out this race, been newcomers in the mix. Dustin Scruggs, Mark Morton, Tristan Bruce, Grant Peterson up there as well, David Flanagan. And Dean, who do you have your eye on this restart with 17 laps to go?
Ooh, I'm going to go 6 to 1, half a dozen. I don't know. If we keep going cautions, it's got to be on Dustin. He's doing pretty good at these race restarts of late now. He's having to do a few. If we don't, well, I mean, don't rule out Tristan Bruce. Don't rule out Chris Blanchard. Don't rule out Holden McGill. Don't rule out the animal now. Keith Bradley's up.
Right, I was going to say the animal.
He's capable of scooting across the line. Tiny Horse always capable of scooting across the line there. He's in P10. We've got Lucas Lyons fans out there. He's P12. So there you go. I can pick about 10 drivers.
Well, let's see if we can pick just one with 17 laps to go here at Hotlanta as our race leader, Dustin Scruggs, takes the green flag into corner number 1 as he's going to be accompanied by Mark Morton, Tristan Bruce, Chris Blanchard, Grant Peterson, our top 5 as our race leader on the low side of the racetrack. He'll bring Tristan Bruce with him in that 3 on the top side now all by himself. Mark Morton on the low side. It's going to be Chris Blanchard now pushing 1, 2, 3 into 3. Dustin Scruggs, our race leader in the 11, trying to get his first checkered flag of this season here in week number 2. Tristan Bruce, good run at Daytona last week, trying to make up for disappointment by winning here tonight. He is trying everything he can, though, Dean, as he goes to the outside into 1 and 2.
They're really getting loosey and goosey around there at the moment. They've got to sort themselves into the 2x2x2. That's what you need to do. 15 to go.
Ooh, look at Flanagan. Flanagan in the middle. Whole shot out of Flanagan.
Brilliant.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's not worried about getting his hands dirty, getting right up into the mix of that one. But the 33 is either going to have to come up there. No, wait for the 33 to come back down unless he lifts a little bit. There he will tuck in eventually at the moment. That's Holden McGill. Wise head on those shoulders there for the 33. He knows at the moment there's no point staying up there 3 wide just yet unless anybody's going to come up and help you. And even that, you probably don't want to be going 3 wide just yet. 14 to go. Wait until another 7 laps to go, then start thinking 3 wide. Well, they already are at the background there at the moment. That's MDW, I think, and the 38.
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson wants to get up there. Tucks in.
Look at the 3 wide battle. I got to say, Ricky Bobby would be proud of the 5 of Flanagan. That was a moonshot move out of the middle. As you mentioned, Dean, though, we're going 3 wide on the racetrack here, just inside of the top 10. Jose Luis Rivera done a great job working his way back in, but we have another contender for a big mover in this race. Stephen Gregory in that 61. He is up 31 spots inside of that top 10. Anybody really, Dean, inside of the top 10 has a shot at this race as we cross that line, make it 12 laps to go. Tristan Bruce is our race leader momentarily, but the top side's very strong. I'd say this is the strongest I've seen it all night long, being led by Mark Morton off of 2.
There you go. So Tristan Bruce got up there. Where's the Bruce family out there supporting Tristan? Usually they're giving all. They can hear him from the grandstand actually most of the time. As he's trying to get himself in a solid position right up the front here to get down to about 10 to go there and see if whether I can hold up there. Dustin Scruggs, Mark Morton, Chris Blanchard trying to make some moves up through the field there. You saw that before. MDW and Ryan Johnson a little bit further back. Are they going to start making some moves? They start needing to work together, or work with other drivers at the moment to try to get somewhere at the front there. Trisha Bruce still in the lead here, the number 3, 11 to go.
This is where it gets mucho caliente, Dean. Very spicy on the racetrack. You'll see these drivers inching, moving, throwing those elbows, feeling those faces out on the racetrack. You might see moves like David Flanagan, those whole shots going 3 wide. You have to risk it for the biscuit here at Atlanta as we come on for 2. The crew just yet peeking out, but I know, Dean, once we get into the single digits, you're going to start to see these drivers get a little bit more hungry. They know that Waffle House is open 24 hours, but you want to go there with a checker flag in hand as we're 2 by 2 here with the lights dimmed at Hotlanta into 1 and 2.
That's right, the lights are working. I don't even show some of those cameras all the time now because there's no point. You can't even see the cars that are in the dark. And send the memo that the Waffle House is not open 24 hours in Australia, my friend. At the moment, probably closed due to the cyclone, but cyclonic driving. Trisha Bruce, Mark Morton, Dustin Scruggs, look at this. They're trying to Trisha's trying to defend like mad. 9 to go at the moment to take the lead of this one. We have a caution. Back further.
We had a big wreck. Big wreck just outside of the leaders. We had trucks into the wall there in 3 and 4. Big wreck just off of 4. Wow, Dean. It was either going to happen at the top side of the racetrack or it was going to happen back there. Wow, that whole sequence just had me on the edge of my seat up here in the booth.
I don't even know where to go back and have a look at this one. I'm seeing all drivers. Wow. Cody not going up the track now. Cody not might have just avoided this one. Somebody's up in the fence. That's Murky, actually. So he is a hard lick in the fence. We'll have a look at Cody Knott. I'd imagine Cody has said to us before here because he got a nice P3 position in Daytona before by crossing the inside field there because he knows avoiding the wreck. There it is. A lot of commotion going on. There it is. I think Cody Knott's going to go straight down here. Merck's involved in that one. There it is. Cody goes in the grass. Good move from Cody. He knows that he got it avoided. Go back.
I'd say he gained about 20 spots for that move there, D.
Yes, sir. People got to listen to Cody on that one. It's worked before in the past. We'll go around and look at Pookie here. So Pookie's got up into the fence, Jeff Merck. And he's been involved in this incident. As further up, we see this is that commotion that we saw before.
See what happens, yeah. Is that Johnson up there in the mix?
Yes, it's the
Jose Luis Rivera.
Yes.
Oh, heartbreak. And Johnson's going to be caught up in this as well.
Maybe MDW as well, too. There is Jeff Merck trying to squeeze through the middle.
27.
Here it is. So it's a 27. No, it's a 60. Oh, it's a difficult one, isn't it?
Stephen Gregory right there in the 61.
Goes slow, pushes the 20 into the 21 of MDW. There's the tiny horse Ryan in the wrong place. Comes up onto the 27.
Wow.
Nowhere to go. Merck is trying to slice the dice through his field there.
Well, Lucas Lyons. Saw his name in the chat here if you're watching along with us here on YouTube. Lucas Lyons looked to be involved in that.
This is Adam Newton a little bit further back, so he's going to see this commotion going on. Just point it straight, gets tagged by Rivera.
Adam Newton.
Be involved as well in that.
Then Adam Newton as well, from his perspective, seeing us. Look at Jeff Merck. You'll see Jeff Merck kind of try to slice his way through this. Bang, gets into Merck, actually. Bang.
88's going to be involved as well.
Then there's Ed Osborne that was also trying to navigate through this minefield of cars. That this is way further back at the moment. There is Raul Mesa, who had a mistake. So, this is a separate incident as they're all slowing. That's your Jurassic trying to slow down. They've seen that wreck. They're hitting the anchors, and then they're having a separate little incident. Let's have a look from Pookie's perspective as he goes through this. This is, and he almost gets through. He gets double tapped, actually. Gets him pointing the truck in the right direction, then goes spinning around. Does he get it back straight? Oh, yeah, he almost does. Anyway, back to live pictures. Now, how does that pan out now?
Dean, I have no clue. After watching that sequence on the edge of my seat up here in the booth, like I said, it could have happened at the very, very top side of the grid or back where it happened there. Lights are off. I think it's really anybody's race. I'm going to say really anybody inside of that top 10 has a chance. You got Rodriguez. You got the Animal up there. McGill, who's been strong all night. Flanagan with the hole shots. Scruggs, you mentioned him on that restart. He's now down to third. So there's a lot of moving pieces still inside of this top 5, top 10 with 6 laps to go. We're going to find out who has the winning piece as Tristan Bruce. Mark Morton will take us to the drop of the green flag. We're going to have 5 laps to go in the A's Lawn and Landscaping 200 as they head into 1.
Let's see if we can keep it clean and green to the end on this one. But they're going to want to start going double file as soon as possible. 5 to go. Drivers are knowing that. This will be a good advantage here for Dustin Scruggs and T. Bruce up the front here. But they're starting to get antsy at the moment. They're a little bit of argy-bargy. 3 wide at the front. Everybody wants it at the moment. Dustin Scruggs, Martin Morton. Flanagan's up into the mix here for the number 5. Chris Blanchard's here. Fantastic racing. 5 to go. Caution.
Yes. Oh, no, as the caution flag is out once again. That's Robbie Richards in the 48. Jordan Jurassic in the 6 looks to be involved for our 9th Serve Pro caution flag of the night. We were doing good, Dean. We were doing so good with the caution flags. Oh, my goodness, as it weighs once again. And Jordan Jurassic, talking about doing so good in this race, he was fighting up there inside that top 10, top 5.
Yeah, I think MDW may have been involved with this one as well because, it's pushed him down to P36 at the moment when he was running up front. We're trying to see whether the wrecks happen further up, hasn't it? And then we'll see as we pass this who it is specifically.
Ooh, that looks like a truck we may be familiar with.
Oh, MDW for sure it was. MDW.
Keith Haney, last week's winner.
And Keith.
Yep, Keith Haney, last week's winner at Daytona, won it at the line. Huge way to start the season for the 87. Roared his way back up the grid here early on in this race. Got faded back just a little bit. Finds himself in this graveyard of trucks back here. And Dean, unfortunately, his night's going to come to an end, although it does show him back out on the racetrack momentarily. But he is in the 30th position after all of this chaos.
He's got into MDW there. Bang. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be... It's going to be some well-cooked beef there with 5 laps to go, Dean. That's going to be that not that pre-cooked beef as we talked about at the start of the race. That's going to be that nice marinated barbecued grilled beef right there. That's going to be with 5 laps to go and everything these guys have had to deal with here tonight, especially the 21 Matthew Wood whose night's gone completely sideways. Could just really put the truck into the trailer and call it a night. Was out here just trying to get laps. Gets wrecked by last week's winner, who, of course, didn't want his night to end like that either. It's just going to be one of those garage moments that I don't want to be around.
And there's our Pulse Poppers replay here for the A's Lawn and Landscaping 200 at Atlanta. Now it's going to be a sprint out with 3 to go. We do have, as confirmed by Nazra this season, that we will be going to unlimited green-white checkers.
I love it. I love it so much, Dean. I just, with the little light that flashes now in these races, let the boys race the line. Let's get the race in. No more flashing little blinky lights. Let's just let them race.
Hello, Matt Cherry. They wish he could have been there tonight. Well, yep, absolutely could have been fantastic there, Matt Cherry, to be right up into the mix here at Hotlanta. That's a little cooler at the moment, about 70 degrees track temperature. Got up high when they all got green flag running under their belt. 69, drop back to the start of this race temperature. How about Trisha Bruce now? He's back at P6. So, what's interesting what happened at the end of that caution on that one, but we'll worry about that. Dave Flanagan's right up there, Mark Morton. They were going 3 wide before there, Will.
And I want to shout out a driver real quick before we begin this restart. My little ATL Aliens beam out there. Nick Sacco, he was running way back in this field, 30th, 34th, 35th, up 6 spots from the drop of the green flag. Now finds himself just 1 spot outside of the top 10, Dean, in just a matter of laps. So watch out for that 6-7 machine here on this restart. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time to rock and roll here at Atlanta, a city known for its hip-hop music. But here, let's get the thunder rolling. We got 3 laps to go. Shout out to Dale Earnhardt. May he rest in peace, because that's what we have left here in this race. A's Lawn and Landscaping is going to be decided here on the drop of the green flag. We have Dustin Scruggs, David Flanagan, Mark Morton, Grant Peterson, Chris Blanchard, Tristan Bruce, Stephen Montgomery, Holden McGill, Keith Bradley, Joshua Rodriguez as they go roaring into 1. 2 laps to go as our leader Dustin Scruggs goes right to the inside of the racetrack. He'll take Mark Morton with him. Chris Blanchard will go with him on the low side of the racetrack as well. See, David Flanagan's going to get fanned out on the top side. Now down the backstretch, we see Dustin Scruggs in the 11, throwing the block. Dean, they're into 3. There goes Chris Blanchard to the outside.
Give me a push comes to shove. You need to find your dancing partners and get going, because there's not enough time now in your super speedway to build it up. You're barely even building up full speed of these trucks. You're barely full up tire temperatures. There it is. We will go to the checkered flag. Dustin, Chris, Mark, and David all right up the front.
The 11 machine of Dustin Scruggs on the low side. You see the 12 right behind him. That's Mark Morton, Chris Blanchard on the high side. David Flanagan in the 5. Tristan Bruce in the 3. Nobody's making a move just yet. We're drag racing into 3 and 4. Dustin Scruggs still on the low side. 3 and 4 Apex now coming into 4. Chris Blanchard on the high side. You see Mark Morton in the 12. Here they come down the front stretch. They'll go side to side, door to door. It will be Dustin Scruggs in the 11, winning the A's Lawn and Landscaping 200. What a way to hold off the 9 of Chris Blanchard to claim his first checkered flag of the season, winning here at Atlanta.
Got to be in it to win at the right place. Good job there, Chris Blanchard, coming through to that P2 position. Mark Morton, fantastic, get that P3 position. Just so close. Dave Flanagan in that P4 position, but fantastic. Absolutely, from Dustin Scruggs, getting it done when it needed to get done, and he'll be doing those burnouts. The man from Nashville, Tennessee will be absolutely excited. He's going to be bringing the music capital of the United States of America here to Atlanta and celebrate round 2 victory.
Get out those acoustic guitars, because we're going to be playing some country music here in Victory Lane as Dustin Scruggs virtually here in this race was just keeping it quiet. Didn't really lead too many laps. Didn't really run the fastest lap times of the race either, but was in the right place at the right time to get the checkered flag. Broke the hearts of the likes of Mark Morton, who was up there. David Flanagan, Tristan Bruce up there as well. Stephen Montgomery finishes inside that top 10. But the night belongs to the 11 machine of Dustin Scruggs, who locks himself into the playoffs with that victory as well, Dean. What a race it was. It came down to the end there, right at the end. The 9 machine just didn't have the steam to feed him to the line.
That's what you'll need. I'm trying to get the race results up at the moment. It's going a little bit bell-shaped for us, unfortunately.
We await those race results there, Dean. I want to shout out some names as we get those official results. As we had some 3x3x3 finishes at that line, so we're just waiting for the official timing and scoring to come through. Stephen Gregory up here in the booth unofficially is going to finish 7th, our biggest mover of the race, up 34 spots. Grant Peterson inside the top 10 as well. Also look at Tristan Bruce, going to finish 5th. I know he probably won the top 3, Dean, running inside that top 3 on that restart as we await those official results. Let's just run it through here unofficially. Dustin Scruggs, our race winner. Chris Blanchard's going to finish 2nd. Mark Morton 3rd. David Flanagan going to finish 4th here tonight. Mentioned Tristan Bruce finishing 5th. Grant Peterson 6th. Stephen Montgomery 7th. Holden McGill, Dean, I got to say that he's not going to like that finish here in the 33. Top 10's cool, but he was our pole sitter majority race leader as well. He's going to finish 8th. Keith Bradley, the animal, 9th. Isaac Bevan, 10th. Ryan Johnson's going to roll off here tonight at 11th position. Again, one of those guys who wishes he probably finishes a little bit better. We also look at Luke Smith. Cody Knott's going to finish inside that top 15 as well. Jordan Jurassic, Stephen Thomas, Matthew Montgomery, Owen Scourge, Robbie Richards, Devin Painter, our top 20. And Dean, I want to mention as we await those official results, we've only had just about, it looked like everybody on the lead lap. Only a couple guys over 1 lap down. That was Dylan Cardenas down there in that 39th position. We look at him, we look at Adam Newton just above him, 38th. Huck Whittington, 37th. Jose Luis Rivera, wish he had a better night, finishing 36th. Keith Haney, last week's winner, finishes 34th here tonight. Joshua Rodriguez down there at 34th. first position. Jeff Merck finishes 27th, runs through some names as we await those official results. And Dean, a lot of disappointment as we look around the unofficial results. Lucas Lyons, Raul Meza, a lot of guys who had really strong trucks here tonight just don't have the results to show it.
We can't show the results either, my friend. That's broken. It's got cyclone washed away or something like that. But no. None of those results that we can show on the screen. But you did read through that one. We'll see if we can get a chat to the drivers as well.
Absolutely. As we await those, the top three finishers of tonight's race, Dustin Scruggs, Chris Blanchard, Mark Morton. And what a finish it was for the 9 machine of Chris Blanchard. Wow, haven't seen his name up there in a minute, Dean. That's going to be very motivating for him rolling on the rest of this season. And we'll await those interviews here, Dean. And
who would you like?
As we wait those interviews, let's start with our race winner, Dustin Scruggs, the 11. Big victory there at the line. As now we're joined on the radio. He's down in victory lane. Dustin, you take home the race victory here at Hotlanta. And as I mentioned, as you took home that checkered flag, you really just kind of kept your cool, kind of laid in the weeds. And when it was time to pounce, you really laid on that gas. Good way to block off the 9 at the line as well. Take us through what led to putting that 11 in victory lane.
Man, I just try to be consistent, smooth, and keep it up front and not get stuck on the outside. I noticed if you got bailed on that third line, you're going straight to the back. So really just trying to stick to the inside. I think the middle line was a little faster, but I felt like you could hold position a little bit better on the inside. So that's what I was trying to do the whole race.
And did you sort of see this race playing out the way it did, where it wasn't so many cautions in the first half, but towards that second half with about 30, 35 laps to go, that's when those caution flags really started to fly?
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of trucks in here, and for a super speedway race, I was expecting a lot of cautions the entire race. I was ready for a long night. I mean, I even went a lap down because I was just hanging out in the back on the first stage. So yeah, it was a lot cleaner than I anticipated. Even towards the end, just to have 1 or 2 cautions on this race with that many people, it's great driving by everybody.
Now, man, in a season where a victory puts you into the playoffs, congratulations on that as well for the 11 machine, Dustin. Does it take any hunger or any motivation to get another checker flag the rest of the season, or is it just another win in that win column?
It's nice to get a win. I mean, last season I led a lot of laps, a lot of races. I led in points for I think half the season, and I think I got 1 podium all year. So yeah, it's nice to get a win. Not always my priority. My priority is to finish top 5. Every week, and if I get a win out of that, great. But otherwise, just finishing consistently is more my priority.
Talking with our race winner here, the A's Lawn and Landscaping 200 winner at Atlanta. And Dean, our race leader, wasn't a name that we mentioned too much here tonight, but definitely a name we're going to have to keep familiar with the rest of the season.
Yeah, be a lookout for that Makoni setup shot Toyota Tundra up front for the rest of the season. So we'll see you guys later. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Before we let you go, though, my man, as we have you in victory lane, anybody you want to shout out any sponsors other than Makoni Setup Shop that helped you put that thing in victory lane?
No, I appreciate it. I was just trying to squeak that one in. But yeah, Makoni Setup Shop and Prosper Engineering is all I got right now. So table's open if anybody wants to shoot me some money for some races. I appreciate it.
That's our race winner, Dustin Scruggs in the 11. Go get him next week, my man. Congratulations on this Feel Good Friday winner at Hotlanta.
All right, thank you.
And Dean, what a race victory it was for the 11, but I believe it is time to talk with our runner-up here in this race, a man that is here every week. And Chris, I know second's not where you want to be. You want to take home checkers, but man, what a race here tonight. What a performance for that 9 machine.
I appreciate it. It was a tough defeat today. I qualified and I went below the white line, and you can't do that on qualifying, but I figured I would get a little bit of extra speed on qualifying to get a better pit box just in case we had to pit under green, and that put me on the back on the start, and I was fast enough to get up into like the top 20, but then it was a roadblock and it was a chore to finish second tonight. Everybody was so close, and with the cautions coming out and the side draft and everything like that, it definitely wore me out for sure, but I'll take second. I know again, Atlanta Motor Speedway is my favorite track, and I took second to Jacob Reeves last time we were here, and I get second again. So I need to get back into victory lane here.
And wouldn't you know it, Jake's off on vacation, and you still get that second spot.
Yeah.
But Chris, I wanted to mention one thing that I noticed. I just spoke with our race winner, Dustin Scruggs, and a commonality between the two of you guys. You really got washed out in this race. You got kind of pushed back in that pack. Do you think maybe it was an advantage to you guys where you didn't have to use up the equipment too much, or kind of work the traffic a little bit, kind of help those trucks?
Well, yes and no. I mean, I did a kind of some tire testing while, the first half of the race. When the cautions came up, I would go down and, get fuel and don't take tires. And when you do that, you can still see what your tire wear is. So I'd run a certain part of the track and then check my tires, and then run another section of the track and check my tires. So the tire wear wasn't too bad tonight. It was just the bottleneck. I felt like I was on 95 with 4 lanes in Massachusetts, just sitting there waiting for somebody to go by an accident or something.
That's what we're calling it up here in the booth. It's like you want to get in traffic and nobody will let you in. That's the only way you can go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But Chris, great run here tonight, my man. And you know as well as anybody, it's a long road ahead. It's a long season. But how motivating and how confidence building is this top 3 finish here tonight?
This is good because I missed Daytona last week because I was out of town for business. So this coming here and getting a top 2 or top 3 is phenomenal. It will set the pace for what the season is. I'm doing good on Monday nights, so that momentum's definitely coming to Friday nights, and we should be able to put on a good show this season.
Well, it was a great show here tonight at Hot Atlanta. Before we let you go, my man, anybody wanted to shout out any sponsors that help you get that top 3 here tonight?
Yeah, I want to say thank you to Bodine's Moonshine, Yankee Communications, Catch Fence Motorsports, Blanchard's Towing, and you guys up in the booth. Keep doing what you do.
That's our second place finisher here tonight, Chris Blanchard. I don't know if you can tell, but he is racing out of the great state of Maine in that 9 machine. Great run here tonight, Chris. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
And now, folks, it is without further ado to speak with our third place finisher, Mark Morton. And Mark, you finished 13 spots. When you started this race, you were inside of that top 5 majority of the race as well. Not some of the other guys that finished above you. You kind of stayed up there majority of this race. Take us through your race here tonight and what led to this top 3.
Well, definitely surprised it was as clean as it was, especially after with it being a draft track and with everybody being some people being aggressive. I mean, I don't think I saw them 3 wide more than a lap or 2 at most. I mean, obviously you guys had different view of it, but I mean, up front it was hectic, but at the same time it was kind of chaotic. Especially having to get back through. Coming up to the front through the field after missing the pit road at the end of the first stage. But I mean, it was a crazy race. It was a hectic race. Had a couple scares here and there, but I mean, all in all, it was a great race. This is, I guess you would say, a home track. I mean, it's only maybe an hour south of where I used to live. I live in Colorado now, but I love this track just like Blanchard, and hopefully, I was hoping I was going to get the win, but Dustin didn't open the door, and I zagged instead of zigged. So I mean, I'm happy with P3. Good momentum for the start of the season.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. It sounds like out of you top 3 finishers, there's this sense of relief. Sometimes you don't win at a track, you're disappointed, you're frustrated. For you guys, though, it sounds like it's like, okay, cool, we got top 3. Was it that sort of race where you were fighting for positions like the entire race? There wasn't much of a wide open run.
You were kind of fighting for positions, because it was like Blanchard said, it was a roadblock. Once you get in the top 20, and nobody was brave enough to make it go 3 wide, which was awesome. But I mean, you just have to pick your poisons when you drop from the bottom lane to the top lane to the bottom lane, and just hope that so people, if you do cut some noses off, that you do hope that they lift, which I did once or twice, and I'm glad they lifted. But I mean, it was another a chaotic race for sure, and it was uh I'm trying to find the word. It was a oh my goodness, a chest beater for sure.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It was a chess match, and one of those where it felt good to finish third. And I know our co-commentator Jake Reeves was watching along on vacation. He was cheering for you in that Georgia Bulldog paint scheme. But Mark gonna come home third here tonight. Great way to start the season. Only week 2. You start stacking these up a little bit more. Race victories won't even matter. You'll just get top 3s the rest of the go. But I'm sure we'll see that 12 in victory lane here. But Mark, before we let you go, is there anyone that you wanted to shout out? Any sponsors that helped you get that top 3 finish?
I know Cody's gonna be mad at me because he gave me a list the first time I finished top 3, and I cannot think of them for the life of me. But all of well, Sir Pro for sure. All the sponsors for the league. You guys were putting on a hell of a job, week in and week out. Sorry, Jake, if you're watching, brother. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get this beautiful Georgia Bulldog Chevy in victory lane, but I mean, close as I got P3s as close as I can get. But hopefully, I will not disappoint you later on throughout the season, and hopefully, somehow, some way, get this Chevy Silverado in victory lane.
Oh man, I don't think you'll be disappointed at all to see
Jake could be
anybody
going, well,
rocking
damn,
it.
Mark.
Right? Well, damn.
Damn.
Oh man, yeah, I don't think you'll be disappointed anybody rocks that Georgia Bulldog paint scheme. So, Mark, we appreciate you taking the time, brother, and congratulations on that top 3 finish. And we can't wait to see you next week.
No, of course, appreciate it. He's actually the reason why I put the Georgia Bulldog paint scheme on. I don't know. Dean, I'm pretty sure you know this because Jake has said it a couple of times, but Carter's he lives the city next over to me. It's about 30-40 minutes a drive, and unfortunately we were not able to meet up before I moved out to Colorado. But this beautiful paint scheme was all for Jake, and I was kind of hoping he was going to be here tonight. Not dogging you guys. You guys did great, but I know because we're city neighbors, this was all for him.
Well, do it next week for him, my friend, when he's back. So I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
That's exactly what I do. I'll keep this paint scheme on for him because I mean I got top 3 for it. So I mean I'll run it until I wreck out or people get tired of seeing this beautiful Bulldog on the hood.
How does that song go, Mark? Is it something about a train and who's that coming down the train? Is that something like that?
It's Mark Morton coming down the train now.
I know it's about what's that rolling down the track. Yeah. It's the mean machine and a red and black. Hey, nothing finer in the land than a drunk obnoxious Georgia fan. That's probably Jacob right now too. Yeah.
There we go. But Mark, we can't wait to see you next week. I'm sure Jake will be up here in the booth as well to see you put that Georgia Bulldog truck into victory lane. But in the meantime, my man, go have yourself a feel-good Friday, and we'll catch you next week here.
You as well, gentlemen. Have a good night, and have a great weekend. I'll see you guys either Monday or Friday.
Yes, sir. And that was our third place finisher, Mark Morton and Dean. As we check out that schedule the rest of the way here in the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series, the fireworks are only going to keep flying as the weeks go on, as we go to Vegas next week. Viva Las Vegas. And then we'll go to the MIA after that. And then we'll go a little short track racing, then back to the high banks. And we're just 6 weeks in, folks. If you love what you watch here tonight, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss next week's race. Dean, before we close out here on this Feel Good Friday, what's your take on an incredible performance out of Dustin Scruggs, who didn't lead many laps here, wasn't the fastest truck, but just was in the right place at the right time?
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Hot Ladder and Super Speedway, getting it done when it matters. See Barney the first with the flag and locking himself into the playoffs. Hot Ladder is done. Daytona's Keefs. Atlanta's Dustin Scruggs. And we are done and dusted. Thank you very much. They will.
Absolutely. For myself, William Tiller, Dean Hopton, the man pushing all the buttons and on the microphone here tonight for our co-commentator Wesley Allen and Jake Reeves out there in vacation land. We'll see you next week, Jake Reeves. But for all of us here at the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, we want to say congratulations to Dustin Scruggs, the winner of the A's Lawn and Landscaping 200. We are off to Viva Las Vegas next week here in the 10th season of the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. We hope everybody has a great night, a feel-good Friday, and we'll go racing once again Monday night here in the Nazareth 360 Racing Network.